Hello, everybody, and we're here at Beaver Stadium. I'm Bill Rabinowitz along with Joey Kaufman after Ohio State's 20-13 win over Penn State. I'm not sure I would say it saved their season. I'm not sure it was quite to the brink of that, but it certainly, it would have been on the brink if they had lost.
I think it's stabilized their
Yes.
season. I think, to me, this preserved all of Ohio State's preseason goals. They wanted to be Michigan. That's a game unto itself. They want to make the Big Ten championship game and win that game. Haven't done that since 2020, and they want to win a national title. Well, if they had lost to Penn State here in Happy Valley today, that would have been a virtually impossible task because they would have had 2 conference losses. There would have been 3 unbeaten teams in the Big Ten. We're recording this where Indiana and Oregon haven't played, but it would have put Ohio State behind all of those teams at a pretty significant margin for them to climb in November. Now they control their own destiny. If Ohio State wins out, which includes games against Purdue, Northwestern, Indiana, Michigan, they will be in Indianapolis.
And I think just as important is how they won it. Because, I mean, look, if Will Howard doesn't throw the pick six early and doesn't fumble at the goal line, this might have been a blowout. So they had to dig deep to win this game. And they did. I mean, 2 goal line stands. Davison Rabinowitz with a beautiful interception at the end of the first half today. Last week he had 3 pass interference calls on him. They put oven mitts on him during practice, basically, to prevent him from grabbing. And then he makes a spectacular play after he was beaten on the play before. And then the goal line stand with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, one that I'm sure Penn State fans are going to be questioning James Franklin for a long time. 3 run plays up the middle, then a pass into a sea of Buckeye defenders in the end zone. And then Ohio State, offensive line's been shaky, run game's been shaky. They ran the ball 11 times for 58 yards to run out the clock. I mean, I bet if Ryan Day could have drawn it up, that's how he would have drawn it up.
I think Ohio State won this game because of those goal line stands. I mean, Penn State had the ball twice at the 3-yard line and got 0 points. That was just, I think, crippling their chances of winning. In the play calling that they showed in the last one, where they had those 3 straight inside zone or run up the middle.
Just runs up the middle.
Will be second guessed in the state of Pennsylvania all week. They tried to put some window dressing on it. They had the left tackle kind of motion out, and they tried to dress it up before the snap. It was fairly ordinary play calls, but hey, I mean, Ohio State's defense held their spot on the field, and they talked about that mentality of just not giving up any yards, and they held, and that was huge. And then Ohio State gets the ball with 5:13 left, and Penn State never gets a shot. And for Ohio State fans, there has to be some sweet music, because how many times in some of their close one-possession games have we seen teams just milk and bleed game clock against the Buckeyes?
Michigan.
Last year in Ann Arbor, and they did it to Penn State this time.
And Will Howard said in his post-game interview, this is probably the worst game that he's played. And he's probably right, because he had 2
as an
critical.
Ohio State guy.
As an Ohio State, right. As an Ohio State. Yeah, he had some doozies at Kansas State, not all his doing, but he had 2 crucial turnovers. And he was so happy after the game for his teammates to have bailed him out in some way. No, he made some nice plays, 2 touchdown passes, some clutch runs. He could have probably scored on the last run. He took a knee, slid down just to end it. He probably could have gone the whole way, but
Ryan Day thought he was going to.
Yeah, right. And to come back, he's from Downingtown. If you don't know the story, he grew up a Penn State fan, wanted to play for them, was recruited by them, but never offered by them. And he said, he told me in August, I'm still salty about that. And so he said similar words at the end of last week. And so to have those bad plays and still come out with a win was incredibly special to Will Howard today.
Yeah, he ran the ball 12 times today. Some of those were sacks, so that affects the rushing yard total.
And let's talk about the offensive line.
But yeah, this was a group that was this was Plan C, because Plan A involved Josh Simmons at left tackle. Plan B was in Mahalski at left tackle. Last week he goes down and gets hurt. And now Donovan Jackson moves over from left guard to left tackle. Carson Hinsman, who started at center last year, replaced Donovan at the left guard spot. They went with the experience. That was apparently the deciding factor for giving Carson Hinsman a shot, who hasn't played all that much last year. He's been the backup at center behind Seth McLaughlin, but Seth McLaughlin's played well all year, so there hasn't been really a need to rotate for him. But his experience showed up well. There were times where you saw the adjustment was not easy for Donovan Jackson to move to left tackle. He drew a tough assignment to Abdul Carter, who's a fantastic edge rusher. His speed was really tough to account for on some of the third and longs, but they got the job done on the offensive line. Ultimately, when it mattered most, bleeding clock late in the game.
Sorry about the blower.
There's a leaf blower.
He gave up 2 sacks, but overall, I thought he and Hinton played well. I mean, as Ryan Day said, I didn't notice Carson, which is a good thing. That's a compliment if you're a guard. Kind of like being a long snapper. You don't want to notice a long snapper. So we probably would like to talk more, but I'm not sure we're going to be able to because of the blower.
But I think that we'll wrap up here. That covers it. There's a palpable sense of relief around Ohio State. You can really feel it with Ryan Day. You can feel it with the players. I mean, not only do you preserve your goals, but there's still been so much angst about their performance in matchup games and top 5 games. They get one here today. Read us at dispatch.com for more coverage. Thanks for watching.